Oh boy. Yeah, this game is once you're actually playing the game, it's fine. But this is a bit of a technical mess when it comes to getting set up for streaming. Uh, I'll think of something. I probably I'll just probably have to cut like a very large portion of this because we didn't actually get a whole lot of progress in before we started having issues. Thank Christ. Okay, for the people who are watching the VOD, they'll probably end up starting right around here. You didn't miss anything. We came back into the observatory because we forgot to come in last time and get the message that leads us to Aramis Stilton in the next mission. So we went and did that. You just missed a bit of backtracking. That's literally all you missed. And speaking of that message, what we've learned is that a few years ago, they, all the bad guys, the Duke, Brianna Ashworth, and this guy named Aramis Stilton, who we haven't met yet, went to Stilton's house and initiated the ritual that brought back Delilah. So now that we know where that ritual went on, we are hoping to use information to figure out how to prevent Delilah's immortality. Oh, fuck me. I think the guards found me, but I'm not entirely sure. Whew. But, now that we have the clue that Aramis Stilton in his estate were our next location to go to, because that's where the ritual occurred, that's where we're headed. So now we gotta go back to Billy Lurk and report. They know we're here! Or they did, now they don't because it never happens. I am a stealthy boy. I say as the glass cracks. Stealthy boy. Let's try to be a little bit sneakier. I hate this particular segment. Particular segment is really rough. This would be a lot easier if I had Blink as opposed to fucking Far Reach. Far Reach is a really bad power, guys. It's a really bad power. Not that useful. I don't have this low descent modifier for it either. What is that noise? We're gonna take care of you. Sleep. And we're going to do a bit of platforming. Come on. Hook up, you piece of shit. There we go. Come on. Like I said, Kelly, Far Reach has a higher skill ceiling, but also a higher skill floor. But, honestly, I just find Blink easier to use with all the utility, with all the movement. options. It just works for me a bit better, and like even though you technically could do a lot more far reach, I just find it really annoying to utilize. Well, here's the weird thing is that, like, where Blink is teleportation, Far Reach is not. It's literally, like, a grappling hook almost. Like a shadow grappling hook. Okay, the video's getting choppy again, and I can't do anything about that. Fuck it. This is the stream is going to be choppy for a bit, and I can't really fix that. I'm not sure what's going on with the recording. That's really irritating. What's going on today? I've streamed this game for fucking over a month and had no problems with it, and now suddenly we're getting issues. That's really frustrating. At least it's not a Bethesda. Well, no, it is a Bethesda game. At least it's not a fucking Fallout game. The game itself is silky smooth on my end. It's literally the stream.
So it's done. Ashworth won't be a problem anymore. Good. But Emily, there's something else. Back when I lived in Dunwall, I did things that I'm not proud of.
Isn't that a requirement for citizenship?
What I've got to say is not a joke. I knew Delilah and Ashworth. Bought into their bullshit. Which led me down a bad road. To be honest, before all this, I thought Delilah dead. I don't want to get into it right now. But I felt like you should know.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stream. I'm getting really pissed off.
All right, Megan. Thank you for opening up. If only a little.
I'm starting to feel like you deserve it. Are you ready to leave now?
Yes. Let's go.
Yeah, once we're back on the Dreadful Whale, I'm gonna do some more jiggering, see if I can like either reduce the quality of the video or something to make make it smoother. This is actually needs to be a bit of a problem. At least, okay, neither stealth nor assault, somewhere in between. Nice. That sounds right. Yeah. The issue with Ashworth aside, not bad. Or we forgot to go and get her audio log.
For several years, Delilah's been here, getting stronger, turning people against me. Why didn't I see it coming? What was I doing during that time? Pretending to listen at court, ruling through an army of bureaucrats.
So I like that they talk about this a bit, even though they don't really go into a whole lot of detail. They do mention that Emily is a bit of an absentee ruler, where the reason that Karnaca has gotten so bad, the reason why a lot of Dunwall has gotten so bad, honestly, is because she kind of took her role as Empress almost for granted, and just kind of did her own thing, and didn't focus at all on ruling the country. So because she spent so little time actually leading her people suffered. She was a negligent leader. Smooth now. Let's see how long it actually lasts. Okay, interesting. It was that particular level that was causing problems. Combat sleep dart formula.
My mind is finally
Oh, Hypatia, you are a beautiful lady.
Here, helping those who need it the most. What can I say about what you've done for me? Saved me from madness and worse, from giving in to a life of sadistic brutality. How could I ever repay you for that, given who you are and what you're incarnate?
You know what? I'll accept the combat sleep dart formula as payment. That's a very good payment.
The Empire. Everyone is counting on you. I'll send something special for you, by way of courier. I hope it helps.
But yeah, the problem Emily had wasn't that she was a good or a bad ruler, that she wasn't a ruler at all. And that opened the door for a lot of unsavory elements to kind of take over in her stead. And if she had been a more attentive ruler, this problem wouldn't exist. She would be, or the city would be a lot better. But because she was kind of lazy, honestly, her people were in a bad spot, and now she has to kind of suck it up and own up to her mistakes. I kind of wish they would get more into, like, the actual policies that were the problem. But I kind of like the idea that these do talk about this kind of thing.
Brianna Ashworth, the Duke. Megan is out in the city, but I'll explain.
I need to know why Delilah can't be killed. Everything we've learned implies that something strange happened at Aramis Stilton's home 3 years ago, but then he disappeared.
Stilton lived in a bunker kept secure by a fancy lock led by Jindosh. Maybe inside you'll learn more about how to stop Delilah.
But I have to get there first. Through a ruin created by the Duke, where my father grew up.
Megan had an intriguing idea. Howlo is leader of the Howlers. He wants Vice Overseer Byrne killed, and of course, Byrne wants Paolo dead too. Both groups will attack you on sight, but walk in with the corpse of their chief enemy, and they'll treat you like family.
You think they'll help me get into Aramis Stilton's home?
I'm pretty sure that will work.
Everyone loves when the stream goes horribly wrong. Which, to be fair, this game actually does pretty good once things are horribly wrong.
Feel my perspective changing. How will I be different after this?
Please don't monologue in that way, Emily. I kind of dislike when characters in choice-based games do that, when they go, oh man, I will be changed in so many ways. How will my choices affect who I become? Like, don't do that. Like, it's kind of gaudy. It's kind of gauche. Like, we already know that the game is about choice and consequence. We don't need you to literally monologue about it. That said, we are going to enter one of, in my opinion, another one of the really interesting levels in the game, followed by one of the most interesting levels in the game. We won't get to the second one today, but we'll probably at least finish the first part of that.
What's that? Ready now?
The Dust District, which is
Ready.
fascinating because of the number of different solutions there are to the problem that this game gives you in the Dust District. We'll talk about it in a second once we actually get it unveiled.
Who was the man I'm after? Aramis Stilton?
An ally to the old Duke, loyal and smart. Stilton helped build modern Karnaca with those silver mines. Started as a miner and worked his way up until he was a prince of industry. But now the new Duke drives the mine crews night and day. Dust falls non-stop onto the district. What was once prosperous is now in ruins.
I suppose the Duke doesn't care, as long as he sips from silver cups.
And what are the cups at Dunwall Tower made from, Empress? In any case, you'll have to pass.
I like that. I like that Sokolov calls Emily out on her bullshit, because although you can blame the Duke for his abuse of the miners, at the end of the day, it's her negligence that led this problem in the first place. She is ultimately still pretty much at fault through not stepping in when she could have. But as Sokolov said, this place was run by a man named Aramis Stilton, who is one of our targets for the next upcoming missions. He was a miner who worked his way up to become the head of the mine, and he was very loved by his workers for how much he cared about them, how much he treated them fairly. Very, very socialist in that sense, where his goal at the end of the day was not to rob the workers of the money they earned. He wanted to make sure they were taken care of, so they didn't work very harsh hours. They got paid well. And he of course got rich off it too, but that was more of a cooperative thing. And he used his influence when he got the money to advocate for policies that would keep the workers healthy and happy. Until the Duke, until whatever happened 3 years ago, forced him to live in isolation. Which gave the Duke his opening to kind of take over. You...
From the mines.
So the idea is that when dust storms hit, the visibility is reduced, so guards can't see you as well as they would normally. And that gives you an opportunity to do things that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to do, like what we just saw. So remember right now that our goal is to get to Aramis Stilton and figure out what happened 3 years ago, that how we can use it, and if that information is possibly useful in figuring out why Delilah's immortal and dealing with that. Okay, so let's take a look over here. There are some guards.
No way! No use running! I'm not going anywhere! You won't get away!
I sure hell will!
I'm back here! I've got just the... Take this! You know you're here somewhere.
I know you're here! Yeah, that's exactly correct, Ecall. He pretends to be rich and lazy, because that's how you get influence in Karnaka and in Dunwall. But in actuality, he's very, very smart. And he's using that as a way to feign wealthiness, so that he has the clout he needs to actually do what he wants to get done. Is this on? It's not on. Okay. Okay. Weird.
Stay hidden forever.
I think that's actually outside. I have not gotten the time slot on upgrade for Far Reach yet, and looks like we're getting some stream issues again. That's really frustrating.
and the Howlers can't. Paolo has a price on Burns' head, and the Vice Overseer effectively wants the same thing. Hello, Emily. I've been doing reconnaissance, talking to people. The Overseers and the Howlers have divided up the district. Just ahead is neutral territory where no one will harass you. But further on, the Howlers and the Overseers both have boundaries set up. And beyond those points, they'll attack you on sight.
Aramis Stilton is the real goal. Sokolov said you had an idea.
Yes. I believe that if you take out Paolo or Vice Overseer Byrne, the other one will grant you safe passage, and will help you get inside Stilton's home. Neutralize either one of them, and bring him to the other.
What else do you know that might help me?
Byrne is protected by the Overseers. Paolo has the Howlers, but I think he's also got some kind of black magic charm. They say he's got to die twice before the sun sets, or he can't be killed. Good luck with that.
Let me see if I can actually change the graphics options to just high. Maybe that will actually fix the problem. So
Why Stilton's house needs to be shut up tight like this.
Never mind. Maybe another time.
Or not. Let's go.
So here is the rub. We need to get to Aramis Stilton's house to figure out what happened 3 years ago. This house, this door here leads to the house. However, it is protected by a very special lock. A lock that was designed by our boy Kieran Jindosh, which we lobotomized 2 missions ago. So, this riddle here is the solution to this riddle is the way to open the door. So there are 4 possible methods of getting through that door. One is to obtain, 2 of them are to obtain the solution by giving one faction leader over to the other. If you do that, then the faction you side with will give you the solution. That's just 2 ways of doing it. The third way is to sit here and solve the riddle. Now, we're not going to do that. A, because I don't have the patience to do that, and B, I don't have the, I don't really have. I've tried solving this a couple times. I've failed every single time. So I clearly don't have the ability to solve these as smart as I want to believe myself to be. That's just not my thing. Like, I don't have the brain for this kind of puzzle. Oh, we included a coat rack. Oh, you're right. Is that his symbol? Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, that's the third solution, is to just solve the riddle flat out and then enter and then basically skip this level. We're not gonna do that, A, because it's not fun. B, I don't want to really feel like going through the motion of solving that puzzle. And there's a 4th solution to the problem, which we will be going for, because we are less murdery boys. We will try not to kill everyone that crosses our path today. first, yeah, let's maximize bone charm crafting. And we'll need to get that to fully maximize that. Oh, it's not that violence isn't the answer, is that violence isn't an elegant answer to the question. Violence is always a possible answer in Dishonored, it's just there are far more elegant solutions. And honestly, just far more fun solutions.
Makes a person sick, it does.
So now we are leaving neutral grounds and entering gang territory. There are two territories. There's the Howler territory, and there's Overseer territory. And we are in Howler territory. I know you're here. And once again, let's sell this link between bloatflies and outsider symbols. I have a blood ember here. There! Blood ember. That's what I was looking for. Like a train or something? Okay. So... this is bad. Can the city get any worse? Indeed, I believe so. I'm getting so sick of Far Reach. Just fucking latch on to the thing I'm looking at! Why do you think I want to sit the floor? I miss Blink, guys. I miss Blink a lot. I think I can actually use Shadow Form to go through that pipe, but nah. There's an outsider shrine not too far from here. Locked from the inside. Locked from the inside. Alright then, if you're gonna play it that way, we're just gonna have to go up. Oh, once Death the Outsider gets here, it's going to be great, because I'm going to get rid of Far Reach and have an actually good transversal power. Hey! Don't turn around! There we go. You're a sleepy boy. And now you'll sleep forever. And doesn't look like there's anyone over here, so... Alright.
This must be Paolo's place.
Sure is Paolo's place. Hey! Paolo and the Inaccessible Cardinal. Yoink! Money! Granny Rags and the effects of her skin. Yoink!
Vera More. I remember that name.
How? Alright, outsider, give it to me.
In case you're wondering,
Howlers are probably furries.
unhinged cultists who believe I will grant them favors if they leave a big enough offering or play just the right musical notes. He doesn't care a fig for me. But he put up this shrine because he found the hand of an old witch I knew once. And Paolo saw right away that it pays to have an edge. Sometimes pieces of us linger long after we're gone. The Duke of Serkonos inherited a vibrant city and wasted no time stripping it to the bone. What will he leave behind? And what about you? Who will you leave to pick up the pieces here in the Jewel of the South?
So that's a good question. Because the people that the group that we give control of the district to does actually impact our ending. But more on that later. For now, let's max out bone charm crafting so we can do some fucking wild shit. Sacrifice bone charms. We're gonna sacrifice everything. Craft one with 4 traits. So because of that, because of the fact that we've gotten all the bone charm crafting done, or all the bone charm crafting traits taken, we can do bone charms with quadruple the effect of the single power. So now we will choke things super quickly. Hey! No corruption. Let's actually put this crafted bone charm on. So now we have 4 times the strong arms trait. And we're going to do a bit more of these. Movement is slightly faster in stealth mode. Movement speed's always a plus. Yes, basically, Kelly, that's what I want. I want when they touch someone, when I touch someone, they go unconscious. See what other traits do we have that are useful. Spiritual pool. That'll be good to have 4 times of to increase the mana regen rate. I wonder if there's anything else that we... Probably want at least maybe out of recovering from falls a bit faster. Yeah, I might go for Void Favor. I might not. Maybe Spirit Water. Yeah, we'll go with Spirit Water. Actually, no, we'll go for double Spirit Water and double Spiritual Fortune. Kind of split the difference between those two to get. I'm probably gonna skip War Favor, honestly. I think this will be enough for now. I might just stuff the rest of these Bone Charm bits into runes. Oh! So here's how I determine whether or not I keep a rune like this. Since we got a failure. Will this corrupted trait actually matter? Spring Razors have a slight chance of failing completely. I don't use Spring Razors, so this corruption trait is literally meaningless to me. I will have no downsides for equipping this runes effectively. So, like, in my normal games, I do re-roll. I will, like, sit there and save and load to get an effect. Like, if the corruption is an effect that I don't like. But if it's an effect that's, like, negligible to my gameplay style, I'll just leave it, because I frankly couldn't give a shit less, and like, it's just not worth it to try and re-roll over and over again to get what you want. Actually, before we go on, I think I'm gonna create runes. Oh, 9 for a rune. Okay. Never mind. We're gonna hold on that. Because at the end of the game, when you go for New Game Plus, any holy shit, this is fast. I think I'm faster crouched than I am when I'm standing up. Hey, crazy stream time. So as the outsider pointed out, Paolo has a charm that means if you want to get rid of him, you have to kill him twice. Because he has the hand of Granny Rags from the first game. And that gives him that magic power. But that's not going to matter too much. Because this guy over here named Durante happens to have the exact combo to the Jindosh lock. So rather than do the whole, like, oh, which leader will we side with, we're going to ignore that whole thing completely and just use this guy to find our combination. You'd start dropping off food once you manage to get his office open. So we know that Durante is over at the Abbey's half of the district. I don't think I have the sheath. I forgot how to sheath my weapon in this game. Actually, because I never actually do it. So we're gonna head over to. We're gonna head over. No, I think it's, is it the other window? No, it's this window. Okay, so where are we? Okay. That's the window we opened.
They all rot in the void.
So now we're gonna go find this guy Durante so we can get the key to his house. Because there we're gonna find the combination we need.
That's where I'll be. Don't bother the call, don't bother at all. No light from the moon, which will reach through that gloom.
Stop talking.
This is filthy. Makes a person sick at
And cancel. Well, I just made. Is this neutral territory right now? Okay, we're in neutral grounds. Okay, we're just gonna walk. Oh my god.
Never to return.
It is actually faster to crouch than it is to be stationary, to be walking. That's incredible. That's... I love this game. I love how broken you can break this game once you get Bone Traft Charming. And by the way, all the traits I unlocked through destroying those those Bone Charms, in New Game Plus, those get carried over. So I can just like start getting some whalebone together, and just keep all my traits. Ooh, oh, that's too lethal for my taste, but I'm definitely going to sacrifice this for the whalebone. Yeah, there is basically never a time ever again where Emily is going to be standing up, unless I need to sprint. But honestly, I don't know. Okay, sprinting speed is still faster than my crouched running speed, but like barely so. I feel like I'm playing Half-Life with how fast she's walking, actually. Yeah, this feels like Half-Life with how fast I'm moving, almost. Okay, not quite Half-Life, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And that is Overseer territory. So now we gotta figure out where Durante is. They said he was nabbed by the Overseers, so I presume that means he's inside the compound itself.
The Vice Overseer hasn't shared his plans with me. He's upstairs now, so I assume we'll learn something before long.
I'd wager it'll all be over soon. I'm surprised it's taken us this long to deal with a mob of ruffians.
You know what the strictures say about wagering, brother? The Howlers are merciless. Hollow carries the outsider's blessing. Some talisman comes straight from the jaws of the void itself.
But I actually like the interfactionality in this mission, because if you
For even the lowliest labor that it's...
Oh my god! Touched to death! Holy shit! Did you guys see how fast I choked that man? Jesus Christ. Bone Charm's OP, please nerf. So I haven't asked yet, so I might as well now. How are you guys doing today? Because I'm basically choking out people in a second. With my strong, strong arms. Emily did Emily hit the gym, and that's why she's so good at choking people out. Of course, the stream starts stuttering now. Unfortunate. Huh. Maybe if I go a lower graphic setting? Medium quality?
The Howlers are cowards, brother. But we accounted for 6 of them. not going anywhere. Die, creature of the void. I'll cure the world from the likes of you. Accept your fate, miscreant. Wait, where is she? She can't have gone lost.
Well, this got bad.
Anything yet, brothers? Keep your eyes peeled. I can smell the stench of heresy.
The stench of heresy.
We won't stop until you what? Time to execute the blasphemer. I have her in sight. Come at me.
The scriptures got
Let him go.
the house. I wonder who that was.
Hey. It's not my fault that I forgot which button was regular crossbow and which one was sleep darts. Okay, it might actually have been my fault, but shut up. Okay, so... I'm glad you're doing alright, Crazy Stream Time. It's good to hear. Let's pick up the money in the room. More importantly, we have the money. Stay choked. Oh! Okay. I'm always surprised when when like a random broken window doesn't alert anything.
By such gilded nothings.
I wonder if there's a memory leak or something causing the delay in the stream. It wouldn't surprise me given how finicky coding can be.
The Howlers are cowards, brother. But we accounted for 6 of them.
I'm glad it's you in the end. If I have to go, it warms my spirit to spend my last minutes.
So this guy is getting mercy killed by
There was another way.
his overseer brother
As bad as any I've seen. Better this than a day or two of
because he was infected with something.
Then I go, and I keep the strictures close to
This seems a lot different when you play in the High Chaos run. Yay! Get choked. Yeah, this seems a lot more chaotic. Because with Overseer specifically, those masks tend to just break darts. So it's easier to go for a body shot than just wait for it to kick in. Rather than go for a headshot. Just safer. And I'm not against waiting for a few seconds. It doesn't take that long.
Stilton.
Okay. I don't know how powerful my domino is. Okay, I can only link to...
I will ask again today if this is truly her chosen path. I can only hope without. Hey! Hey!
All right. That was actually a pretty good clear. bone charm in here. Cool. Hey, that's Durante's key. That's what we needed. So we're gonna leave him here. There's no reason to give him over to anybody. He's fine just sitting there taking a bit of a nap. I don't see any other runes, and I'm not really concerned about getting bone charms anymore. So we're actually gonna finish Dust District in a pretty reasonable time. Okay. But, about this level itself, I do enjoy the idea of having multiple factions in the same level. They experimented with this idea a bit in, the Brigmore Witches with the two warring gangs. And they kind of bring revise the mechanic here. Oh, that's what that was. It was the dust storm coming in.
The Duke wasn't running the mines night and day. Our children wouldn't be choking themselves to sleep at night on the dust.
It's easy to blame, but we both depend on the profits from industry.
Yeah, we're not gonna solve the puzzle because I don't wanna. Oh, whoops. Wait, how was that? How was I in hostile territory? Fuck off! Fuck off! I did not invade your territory. You're lying sacks of shit. The lot of you. Assholes. But yeah, we're not going for the solving the riddle because I think escaping this level would be a little uninteresting. And I have tried and failed to solve it numerous times on my own. So I don't have any faith in my ability to solve it on air.
By the strictures, isn't she the woman on the posters? Shame on you!
Wow, I did not realize you were still there. Oh, those were the Howlers, though. I wasn't, like, they don't give a shit about magic. The Overseers might, but... And also, that Overseer, literally watched me far reach. So... Earlier, when I entered the district for the first time, I entered the territory for the first time. So, something's off.
Hello? Anybody? Don't make me search the whole place. I don't have time for that.
Choke on your own spit. Yeah, it was. Thank you for reminding me. What does the Undertaker Bone Charm do again? While carrying a body. You know what? That actually might happen just frequently enough where it's worth getting a full... Like, maybe a 2 of with something else. Yeah, that might actually be enough to get, like, a 2 of with something else. Maybe, Agile Recovery. Sure. That would be too overpowered, Kelly. Dropkicking people like that would be just too strong. You'd have to nerf Emily even harder than you already have. Alright. I also like that bone charm crafting basically lets you like essentially increase your bone charm capacity to 40 as opposed to 10. Because you're... Wait, what happened? what killed my game. This game is so fucking buggy. Holy shit. Give Steam Sync time to operate. Okay, now we'll play. There we go. Sorry we're having so many technical difficulties today. This is so fucking weird. I usually get to see my cool ass wallpaper that I commissioned from an artist named T Husky. But I do enjoy the faction dichotomy. I like when games try that. As I was saying before, this isn't the first time Dishonored tried that. They tried it with the Bring More Witches DLC, the second mission, and it seems like an improvement on that dynamic. Although maybe yes and no, because the faction is a bit more divided, as in like there's that neutral territory between the two factions that you can walk in freely. So it's more like two miniature levels than it is a warring factions level that you cross into, in between. Which is a very interesting dynamic from the player standpoint.
Still no word from our sisters. Strange. Very strange indeed. I must draw strength from my darkness. World not as one.
Okay, this is hostile territory. No wonder. It's a bit bullshit, but we'll go with it. Alright. So that was the issue. We were in hostile territory. Which is unfortunate. Now that we're on neutral ground again, we can get our bearings. Then we're going to have to get back up into the Howler territory. So that we can open Durante's domicile. We are going low chaos, and so that this decision will matter. And to kind of elaborate on what you call in the comments is talking about. There are two, like the ability decision on which leader to spare does matter, because in the low chaos ending of the game, the faction leaders that you opt to save will help guide Karnaka in the days to come. So if you elect to kill the Overseer and save Paolo, then he will be the one. He has an ear in the leader of this area's policies, and he can help guide that person. Likewise, the same will happen if you spare the Overseer and kill Paolo. Ooh, that might be worth keeping. We'll decide later. But we are going to take a third route we're going to let them have their petty faction war. And just move on with our lives. If you don't want to kill them, but do want to influence the direction that Karnaka is going, you are allowed to, and I'm not going to show it off here, but there are 2 crates that you can use to ship one or both leaders off to parts unknown. And if you do, those leaders will not participate in the faction politics to come, and they won't have their keep when it comes time to dole out Karnaka's wealth. So if you want to go non-lethal but still want to do faction politics, that option also exists. But you will still probably have to do the route of uncovering the combination yourself through Durante's room. So rather than participate in the faction politics, I'm just going to go ahead and let Paolo and the Overseer continue to have this stalemate going into perpetuity until I come in and start implementing some real actual change. Because there's this interesting play where the Overseers generally do want to do well. They generally do want to protect the people, but they're a little ham-fisted in the way they go about it. Where Paolo also wants to generally help people, but he's a bit too lax. Because he is a gang leader at the end of the day. So Marcola gets the pendant. Natsuo. It's the war medal. Conti gets the snuff case. Oh, I passed it. Finch gets the diamond. And Winslow gets the ring.
It worked.
So while that is a really fascinating level, because it's fascinating mostly because of the sheer breadth of decisions you have at your leisure. There is a vast and varied number of ways you can approach this level, and it all depends on how you, the player, decide to deal with the factions within. And I find that as someone who loves choice in games, I find that to be incredibly fascinating. Just the level of nuance here. Even though like it's Dishonored and therefore there's not a whole lot of like actual meaningful choice at the end of the day, there is still some, and it does still matter a lot. I made 1 kill, but I'm mostly stealthy non-lethal. Eliminated neither faction leader in the struggle for the Dust District. Yeah, you just did nothing. Congratulations, Emily. Oh, you're right. I suppose that does also matter. Because the factions have a war. The factions are warring over the fallout as a result of what occurs in, or what has occurred, will occur, and may occur in this mission.
Time is an odd thing. Growing up, I was excited about what the years might hold, about the places I'd visit. I recall childhood moments with my mother on her throne, and my father, a figure of mystery. I remember the rat plague, mother's passing, and all that happened at the Hound Pit's pub. Now this. I just want to put an end to Delilah's reign and get my father back. This house holds her secrets. Delilah pulled herself up from tragedy, grabbing the Empire and
I mean, yes, Kelly, we are probably going to spend the entire level making time-related puns.
She transformed a coddled
the clock's ticking, you know.
Who helped her take my throne. She's made herself immortal, and even my father's sword couldn't end her life. I'm going to undo all she's done. And next time, I'll hold on to the things I cherish, just a bit tighter.
So now that we're in Aramis Stilton's manor, you'll notice
I feel drained by this place.
that I can't use any of my powers.
Something is wrong here. Even the air feels off.
There's something so wrong about the way this manor presents itself that my powers are completely locked. I'll be going through this entire mission without using any of the skills that I normally have access to.
Could that be Stilton?
So, our goal now is to find Aramis Stilton and try to get him to talk about what happened that night. The night where Delilah came back from the void. And see if we can figure out what we can do about it. You're right, crazy stream time. Like, I imagine that it would be really hard to plan this level under the idea of you having powers and programming it under the idea of you having powers. Like if you blink and then, or like if you far reach and then as you're far reaching switch dimensions, that would be absurd. That would be really, really hard to get right. But for now, at least still have the heart to guide me. But you're right, it would be a pain in the ass to argue this. So I don't blame them for not implementing powers, just because because of the mechanics this level functions upon, it would be a nightmare. And we'll talk about that in a second once we actually get to the meat of the level. That's Aramis Stilton.
Where are you, my friend? I must speak to you. Let's have
Collect
tea
yourself,
in the
Mr.
kitchen.
Stilton.
3 years ago, something inside Aramis Stilton snapped like a cheap lock. A part of him and a part of this house never left that evening. The Duke's inner circle are still gathered here, setting their grand plan into motion. Delilah's plan. And a part of Aramis Stilton is always here, still breaking. The Void is not exactly a place, and it's much older and stranger than you could ever know. It watches you from within. And at the heart of Stilton's house, the Void is leaking through a pinprick left behind by Delilah's little trick. Even magic is perverted here, and things don't work like they should. Take this. Imagine it's a kind of timepiece. Go and watch the Duke and Delilah. See for yourself what they did.
So fun fact, you get this timepiece even if you decline powers, because this is a very important...
By the Void.
This is very important to how this level functions. Without this tool, the level basically cannot function properly. So the way it works is that there are two versions of the level. The one that occurs in present day, and one that is 3 years in the past. So I can use this timepiece to transition between the two. And yes, too, we'll get to that in a moment. But interesting fact about this level
using this timepiece
is that the way they programmed it is that both halves, the present and the past, are loaded in at the same time. So when you switch, when you use the timepiece, all you're truly doing is making a position change from the past section of the level geometry to the present section. And you can use this looking glass to figure out what's happening in the other half of the level by just peering through it. And one thing I like is that if you move into a spot where you couldn't teleport to, the timepiece is black. And that just shows you that there's something obstructing your trip back out to your destination. So it's odd that this game came out in the same year that Titanfall 2 did, because both games had a single level each with this exact mechanic. Although the difference being that Titanfall 2's version was a bit more active. Yes, actually, Kelly, when you see a mirror in a video game,
Stilton's home was quite nice before.
The
whatever
way
happened.
it actually is effectively rendered is not as a reflection. It is a separate scene being drawn, which is why mirrors are so hard to program, and that's why a lot of games just don't do mirrors at all.
Think you're smart? I'll find you.
And you can do some really fun shit with this timepiece.
He's been choked. Shit.
You can do some very fun shit with this timepiece.
Stilton's sealed off from the rest of the district.
This is my favorite trick of the level, is to actively and brazenly insult a guard, and then just yoink out of reality, and then yoink again behind them, and then choke them instantly. It's great. I love doing it. I will never get tired of it. This does not get old. This does not get old at all. This is beautiful and I love it. I'll tell you, playing this game with, when you don't give a shit about being detected in this level, so fun. This is so fun. There is never a moment in time where that gets dull. Yeah, because of the way the level is programmed, what I'm actually doing is just changing my position rapidly. Like I am doing some massive teleporting. What I am basically doing is knocking out a guard, yoinking back into a different part of the level, and then yoinking back in so that I can basically keep doing that almost forever. It is such a good time. It's such a good time, man. We're gonna fold the timepiece back up for a bit. But when you're playing as a ghost non-lethal, this level doesn't change a whole lot. Like, you don't get a whole lot of different options opened up as a result of the timepiece being there. But when you're playing Assault non-lethal, come at me, bro. Oh, obstructions. Let's have some fun. Oh, there you are. Yay! Yeah, the only issue is those odd points where there are obstructions and hostiles on both halves of the world, which does happen. But generally, this makes the level just a bit of a cakewalk. And I imagine, like, if you add powers to this mix, it would be even more insane. The amount of, like, tricky shit you could do. Like, you could domino people from 2 different times with powers. It would be a nightmare. I would never want to program that. That's probably why I didn't do it.
Someone there?
Nicked his mother's pistol the next time she used it. Oh. The others thought it simply malfunctioned.
Oh, man. I could literally do that all day and never get bored of it. Okay, so I kind of lost the plot while I was having that much fun. You're right. I'm trying to find a way to figure out what happened to Delilah. What happened to bring back Delilah. So I also really like the idea, and Ecall talked about this earlier, but the void, like this reason this is even happening is because the void is super fucked up in this place. The ritual that brought Delilah back to life basically screwed the space-time continuum up in this exact location.
What will change in the present based on what I do here tonight? Morgan claims Stilton was a good man, at odds with the Duke.
But the act of bringing Delilah out of the void ruins the way that time works and the way that magic works in this area, such that this is even possible. This is not possible in any other location in the rest of the world. Which is a very fascinating concept. That something can be so wrong that it destroys the fabric of space and time. Oh, there's a ruin over here. Oh. Oh, you're right. It must be in the other side of this. But yeah, speaking of ruins, Mikal makes another great point where most of the optional rewards, the bone charms and the ruins in this level, are guarded by puzzles, which are actually, they're generally not difficult puzzles, but they do require you to do a bit of thinking before you actually get the rewards.
Actually play the harp or the piano.
But I like doing timey-wimey bullshit, so it's acceptable. Oh my god! That's a sharp-ass sword. You're probably not gonna finish the mission today, but this is fun. It's definitely one of my favorite missions in the game. Not my favorite, at least part of my top 2. Locked in both realities. Alright, we gotta go through the kitchen, I think. Look at all of these fucking bodies! Yoink! Nothing personal, just business. Can't have you talking. We'll eat a few fruits though. They can't despawn the bodies because they're objects that will alert the guards. Like if the bodies despawned, then there'd be no incentive to hide them. So the game, like, to function properly, can't despawn the bodies, and that's not too tall an ask because there's only a finite amount of bodies in a single area. Like, there is a point where you will just bench amount of guards to kill. Yoink! Yoink! Guards do spot bodies, but they only spot bodies that are on their patrol routes. Otherwise, they won't see them. Oh, I was gonna far reach up there. Silly me. Alright, this is the part of the mansion that has actual bloatfly dudes. So I have to do a bit of clearing out before we can do some tricky shit. But now I'm going to do tricky shit anyway. Shouldn't have done that. It's all fun and games till someone tries to actually kill you with a sword. Oh, that's how you want. That's how you sheath. I remember. I could throw some grenades in there.
I wonder what I was doing in Dunwall on this night. Or what I am doing.
Time is weird like that, Emily. Don't let it get to you. I mean, there are a lot of games where you have intent to hide the bodies, like this game, like Deus Ex. The idea is that if you don't hide the bodies at all, during the guards' tensions, although that ends up net result being that you just use the bodies to attract guards to take them out one by one. I guess there and there is an incentive for not getting detected in Dishonored. It's just if you're not playing that way, then it doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, I remember. If this is left to fester, results in a blowfly nest in the future. So here's an example of some really cool mechanics. By burning this dog hound in the past, we've made a change in the future. Such that the bloatfly nest here never occurs. And therefore this door is never locked to keep them in. And therefore this safe was opened. And therefore we now have the combination. So 2, 3, 8 will open this safe. Regain health during Shadow Walk. Sure, we'll equip that. So, this was a bit of a puzzle that was required to get that bone charm out of the safe. But there are many other ways in which you can manipulate the present through making changes in the past. And this is just one of them. And by learning information in the present, you can come back and then make change in the past even further. And that's one of the cool things about the level is the way that time is handled. Or just another one. Let's actually do this one too. This one's actually fairly important. Change its graphic settings again to preserve the stream quality. Oh no, never mind, it's fine now. Huh. No, that's weird. So, in the present, this safe is worked over. But if we sabotage this statue here, the safe is still worked over, but since it was broken 3 years ago, it's no longer obstructing this hole in the safe. So we can now use it as a place to escape from and move to. We've made changes in the past that affect the present.
Worried about it, break. Hey, who is that? Blood Club. No!
Fucking rats. Where did that guard go off to? I know you're here. Oh, you're still up there? Let's see if I have... So, in the present, because there was a leak over here that never got fixed, this area is flooded. But, we come down here. We fix the leak, and I'm trying to remember how you fix the leak. Crank wheel
Tricky.
missing.
Maybe there's a way around. 3 years from now.
All right. I wonder if there's a crank wheel here. No, you can't bring stuff with you between times, can you? I gotta remember what this... Oh, right. You're right. Okay. Yeah, I got it. I had to go back into the room over here. There we go. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Thanks, chat. No. Now, how do I unblock this door? Did I fuck this up somehow? Oh. Oh, okay. I forgot. If it's there in the past, it'll be there 3 years from now. Which will let me fix the pump in the future. Which will allow me close enough. That will allow me to come back here and fix the pump in the past. And that will allow me to pick up this rune. See, another little miniature puzzle. Probably end this level really quick if we're being honest, but I kind of want to play around for a bit, see a lot of these time-related puzzles. But I find the idea of like moving between time periods to be a very fascinating mechanic to work with. Strong lungs. That probably gives me more breath. So yeah, apologies for how long that puzzle took, chat. It's a bit... Okay, we're not gonna need this. But I really enjoy this level and its mechanics. That was a much more simpler puzzle by comparison. Just realized that the elevator would be intact in the past when it wouldn't be intact in the present. There's so much cool shit going on in this level. Yeah, I do like how the present stage changes. And depending on what you do, there's a huge change in the present stage that we'll get to probably in the next stream, because it looks like we're getting a bit over long.
The air feels almost electrified here.
Well, that could be the grenade. No, in fairness, Emily.
Why do you do that?
Oh, Jesus Christ, freakishly strong. I think it's supposed to mean, the air being electrified, it's supposed to mean that, the Void's influence is stronger in that particular area of the map. But it ends up just sounding kind of strange. Alright, I've been merciful long enough. Just fucking... Poor victim. Poor guy. Yeah, like what Ecol said, it's a hint that you're approaching the point of the resurrection, the source of the problem. Once we clear out most of these nests, we're gonna end the stream. Just okay. Idiot. Alright. So I think this is actually a decent stopping point. We'll probably end up finishing Cracking the Slab next week. And then we'll move on to the penultimate mission of the game, where we take care of Luca Bell. I really like this mission. I like the way that time flows in this mission. And I'll probably be reflecting my write-up when I post the VOD of this later in the week. But until then, take care, team. I hope you guys have a lovely week. And I look forward to seeing you this same time next week. Thank you, Crazy Stream Time, for joining in for the chat. Thanks also to Kelly and Ecall and everyone who watched, even for a moment. I appreciate anyone who watched even a second of my streams. And it's always nice to hang out with you guys, even if it's via stream chat. Take care, and I will see you same time next week. Deuces!